Hey, what's going on, guys? So, we're going to do a quick comparison when it comes to brightness of televisions from 2017 to 2018. Only the ones that have a high peak brightness is actually highlighted right now on this little diagram. This is from artthings.com. A lot of people don't agree with them, but I feel that this is a good source. Sorry about that. This is a good source of information when it comes to certain TVs. So as you can see right here, I have 5 TVs that I highlighted, which are the 930E from 2017, the Z9D, that's supposed to be 2016, the 940E from the 17, the Q9FN from the 18, and the Q9F from 2017. So as you can tell right now, the ones that are highlighted are the ones that claim to have high peak brightness. It's not that the TV doesn't have a high peak brightness. It's when it how long it could sustain the brightness for. And honestly, the way they have it lined up right now, the 930E is practically the best TV out right now when it comes to brightness. As you can tell right here on the HDR real scene peak brightness, that's basically just watching a straight HDR movie or a show or a TV show. The 930 peaks out at 1442. As you can tell, the Z9D, which is their flagship, is 1375. So right there, the 930 is actually brighter constantly than the Z9D. If you go down to 940, it's 1184. The Q9F from this year is only 908, and the Samsung Q9F is 690. So therefore, when it comes to watching HDR straight up, the 930E is the best for brightness. Now in a 2% window, which is a very small window, a very small square, the 930 tops out at 1159. So just say 1200 nits. The Z9D is 1316. So the Z9D beats it right there, that small, tiny window. The 940 is low, it's 1030. The Q9F now, it beats the 930, but it's a really small window. It's a little small rectangle. You can look it up. It's not. It really doesn't matter when it comes to a 2% window, in my books at least. And the Q9F from last year is at 906. So that's not really good. So basically, the Z9D is the best in that category. 10% window is a little bit bigger than a 2%. Not really the whole screen though. The 930 tops out at 1540. I think mine went up to 1560 if I'm not mistaken. When I calibrated my TV, it was 1560, I think it was, or 69. One of those. Again, the Z9D beats that out by 1653. The 940 is only 1177. Q9F from this year is up there too. But you gotta think about it. These windows are very small. They're not really a full screen. So the Q9F beats it on that by a good 200 something more nits, which is not bad. It's 1763, and the last year one is 1410. So last year Q9F doesn't beat the Z9D or the 930, which is 2017 TVs. 25% windows a little bit bigger, 1027 for the 930, 1357 Z9D got it on, got the 930 on that. The 940 is 1158. Not all that good at a 25% window, which I think 25% and up is when it really starts to HDR starts to kick in. And 1185 for last year Q9. Now 50% window, that's half the screen. That's a good amount of of a square when it comes to peak brightness. So the 930 peaks out at 866, cause that's a lot of power coming from your TV to sustain a 50% window. So as you can tell right there, the 930 tops out at 866 nits. The Z9D is 906. The 940 is 762. The Q9F from 2018 is 812, which is lower than both of the 930 and the Z9D. And the Q9F outperforms the Q9F from 2018 by a good margin, like 100 and something. So at a 50% window, the Q9F from 2017 is better than the Q9F from this year. That's crazy. I wasn't expecting that. Now 100% window right now is full screen. It tops out at 764, and that's the top for the 930. The Z9D is 678. The 940 is 545, which is wow. I didn't know it was gonna be that low. Q9F is 678, and the Q9 from last year still outperforms the new one by 709, which is crazy. I wasn't expecting the Q9F from this year to be not as bright as the one from last year. That's crazy. Now, when it comes to HDR sustained, this is how long it can stay at the nit at this window, which is 2% that I'm showing right now. So it can sustain 115 nits at a 2% window. I don't know how long they have it going, but it sustained it longer, which is 1155 nits. Z9D is 1294. 940 is 1017. And Q9F really sustained it longer than the 930, which is good, actually. By like what, 400, 300 something, 400 something? 400, rounded to. And the Q9F is really low at a 2% window. But then again, you got to think about it. It's a very small window. It's a very small rectangle. So it doesn't really matter when it comes to like real time watching of HDR. It's just that the Q9F peaks out higher and sustained it higher than any of the other TVs, including the Z9D. So thumbs up to the Q9F for that. 10% window sustained at 1510 for the 930, 1607 for the Z9D, 940 for the 1150. The Q9F again outperforms these two TVs, the two top TVs, but not by much. And the 17 Q9 is down there. There's a quick side note. I never knew that the 940 had the peak brightness for so low. I thought it was up there with the 930. I'm guessing not. It's looking like it's kind of struggling, because that was kind of like my dream TV. The 940 was my dream TV. That's the first TV I wanted. That's what I struggled to get. But I guess it didn't turn out that good, besides the motion and everything like that. Where are we at now? We at 25%. 25% is a good amount when it comes to HDR. 930 tops out at 1002 nits. Z9D is 1332, which is really good for 25%. 1147 for 940. 1052, which is on par with the 930 right there. So when it comes to like full screen or like quarter of the screen, the 930 is holding its own under the Z9D. So I would say that the 930 has a better peak performance than the Q9F 2018. And the Q9F from 2017 is only 1161. So honestly, the Q9F from last year is not really that good. It doesn't outperform any of these TVs that much, probably 1 or 2 windows. But that's just crazy. I wasn't expecting some of these numbers from some of these TVs. 50% window now sustained, which is really stressful on your TV to sustain a 50% window. So $855 for the 930, $899 for the Z9D. Even the Z9D can't even hold it that long. 940 is really low, 761. Q9F is 812, not bad, but it still doesn't outperform the 930. And the Q9F outperforms everything when it comes to 50% window. So I'm thinking the way this is looking right now, the way this graph is looking, it's saying that the Q9F from last year is better at peak performance when it comes to watching like a full movie. You get more effect from the Q9F from 2017 when it comes to watching a full screen movie with HDR in it. You have better performance. It's not by much, but it's a good amount. But when it comes to like regular viewing, the one from last year is not good. The Q9F from last year is not good at all. Now 100% window is full screen. This is when the shit hit the fan. At 100% sustained window, the 930 only sustained up to 751 nits. Surprising, right? Z9D is 673. Wow. The 940, we're just gonna take that out of the equation because I realize it kind of fails on every category when it comes to brightness. Q9F is down there with the Z9D, which is 677, and the Q9F from last year is 563. So I'm thinking the Q9F from last year is only good at 50% windows, which is half the screen of HDR. So we're gonna kind of minus the Q9F out of the equation from last year, and we're gonna minus the 940 out of the equation too. So it's only down to the 930, the Z9D, and the QFN for this year. You don't have to worry about the ABL because these are not OLEDs, but it do dim down a certain bit for certain extra bright scenes. Sorry again for that. And the peak brightness, this is what they rate the peak brightness for, who has the best peak brightness, and right now the 930 and the Z9D is tied for peak brightness. And you can tell by the chart right here what's what. And I'm gonna gladly say that some of these TVs need Viagra or Cialis or something like that. I wasn't expecting these things to have peak brightness so high, but can't really sustain it for that long. But as you can tell right here, the 930 is the brightest TV that's out right now. It beats the Q9F and it beats the Z9D. Kind of tied though, but they all have their ups and downs. But the Z9D and the 930 are kind of tied when it comes to brightness. I'm guessing that's why they call the 930 a baby Z9D, because they're almost alike. I'm gonna do another one of these for darkness if I get a chance. You guys could go ahead and look over it if you want to on rthings.com. But I just thought I'd just put this out there for you guys to see. It kind of woke me up about how good this TV is. That's crazy. But anyway, guys, take care as always, and stay tuned for more content. And that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and there's more to come. All right, later.